This phone call took place on October 7th, 2016 at 2:14 p.m.
Are you still going to let me have Alex this weekend?
He wants to stay with me, Jay. I asked him this morning, and he said, I want to stay. So I said this to him. I said, you want to go with Mama, or do you want to stay with me and Kevin this weekend? He said, I want to stay with you and Kevin this weekend.
I didn't hear him say that.
Well,
I would like to ask him, Carl.
All right.
I would like to hear it straight from him.
Okay. Well, I'm not home yet, but at 7 o'clock when you call, you can talk to him, all right?
I thought we had an agreement, Carl.
No, I said I would ask him today, and I would find out from him if he really felt he wanted to go or not. And I did. He says he wants to be with me and Kevin, so I went and got Kevin. And
I don't believe you because he says he doesn't want to live with you anymore. He says that you're very mean to him, Carl. He begs me. Every time he's with me, he begs me not to send him back to you.
What?
Yeah. So I don't really believe you, Carl.
You haven't recorded him begging you?
I'm just telling you what he told me, Carl.
I just simply do not believe you, Jack. I'm sorry.
It's true, Carl. He begs me every time he's with me not to have to go back. Carl.
What?
I'm telling the truth, so I don't really believe you.
Okay.
Especially after the things he told me that you say to him and that you do to him.
What do I do to him?
He tells me you're very mean.
What do I do to him? So mean.
He tells me you say that you're going to kill him and he really thinks you're going to kill him.
What?
He tells me that you hit him on the ears, that you call him fucking Alex.
That's not true. None of that's true, Gabe.
I don't really believe you, Carl.
If I hit him all the time, how come he's not bruised and bleeding all the time?
Doesn't mean you don't.
Kill him? That's just wrong. I don't say that.
That's what he told me, Carl.
I don't know why he said that to you. When the sheriff came over the other night, he asked him, is he being mean to you? And he
That's because you're there, Carl. He's terrified of you.
No, listen. This is what Alex said. He said, yeah. And the sheriff said, what do you mean he's being mean to you? What do you mean by that? And Alex said, I don't know. So the sheriff's like,
Because he's afraid.
please, Jay.
He's terrified of you, Carl. He's terrified of what you're going to do to him.
Jay, that
He
is...
begs me. He doesn't want to live with you anymore. He begs me to live with me. He begs me not to have to go back every time he's with me. So I don't really believe you, Carl.
I don't know what's going on.
We had an agreement. You agreed.
Look, I asked him this morning. I'm not going to make him go where he doesn't want to go.
I don't really believe that, Carl. I don't believe he doesn't want to go because that doesn't make sense because every time he's with me, he wants to be with me. And he begs me not to have to go back. So I don't really think that's true, Carl. I don't believe that. And I believe that I believe Alex is telling you the truth.
About what?
About everything he told me that goes on when he's there with you.
Well then I don't know.
He says that you cuss at him when he doesn't eat.
That's
He
not
says
true.
that you're very mean to him. You hit him on the ears. He tells me that you call him stupid Alex.
None of that's true.
He
true.
tells me that he's told me that you have threatened his life. He has said that you tell him all the time that you're going to kill him. You said you get so angry at him that you say, I'm going to kill you.
Jay, what are you
You
smoking?
can go to jail for that, Carl.
Jay, That is not true. What are you smoking?
Asking me if I'm smoking something is not appropriate, Carl.
Well, there has to be a reason that you're saying the same thing.
I'm telling you what you told me, Carl.
I don't know what to say to you about that. He may have said that to you or not, but it's not true, okay?
I don't believe you.
All right, well, I don't know what to do about that. I really don't know what to say to you.
He told me that he's also told the teachers at school all of that.
Well, how come they don't report to CPS and come and get the cops and come get thrown in jail?
Probably because they don't want to get involved, Carl.
No, probably because he hasn't said that to them.
I believe he has.
Okay, wake up. Wake up.
I am fully awake, Carl.
Okay,
Especially when my child tells me that you are saying those things, that you're treating him that way, and I have witnessed you cuss at him myself. I've seen you tell him to fuck off. I've heard you call him an asshole. I've heard you call him dumbass. I've seen you flip him off behind his back. So I know he's telling the truth, Carl. And it's a matter of time before it comes out.
all right, well, okay.
And I think that if you told the cops that you're very mean to him, it seems to me you should be pretty concerned about that, Carl.
I'm not. The
I
sheriff
wouldn't be too cocky if I were you.
I'm not cocky at all. I'm just telling you what happened. Stating facts. I'm not being cocky.
Well, I'm stating facts too, Carl.
What the sheriff said, or he said,
He's not going to tell the sheriff what you do to him with you sitting right there, Carl, because he's terrified of you. He's afraid of you. He's afraid of what you're going to do to him.
please.
So I don't really believe that. You're not letting me talk to him. I haven't heard it from him. And what you have done tonight, Carl, is very shady. Your son said he wants to see his mother today. And you have refused to allow that.
Hey, I did it last time. Why would I do it this time?
Because you're angry, Carl.
No. I want Alex to be happy. But I also want to spend time with
If you
him.
wanted him to be happy, Carl, you would not have taken him from me.
Okay? You were sticking him in the hospital.
He's miserable.
You didn't want to be his mother. You want the hospital to be his mother. Don't preach to me about who gave up women. Alex, Tom, don't preach to me about.
I followed what the psychiatrist told me to do, Carl.
Oh my God,
And
Jay.
there were also times when you put me in the hospital, so you can't put it all on me. That isn't going to work.
Sure, I woke up and
It's
realized
documented that you have also checked into the hospital.
Oh, yeah, yes, I know.
Think
Oh,
about
I
you,
know.
Carl.
I know, yeah, you can say that 50 times. But the truth is, I woke up and realized my mistake. He doesn't belong there. I believe it. His therapists believe it.
Why did you drag
Psychiatrists
him
believe
5
it.
feet across
Teachers believe it.
the carpet?
Everybody in our life, except for you, believes he should not go to the hospital.
I haven't said that, Carl.
You're the only one that thinks he should go to the hospital. I
I haven't said that.
I have it in writing. I have it in writing, Kate. Yes, you do.
I
I'm
do not
fucking
think you
rescuing
should
from you. I'm rescuing from you. You know that? Think about it, Kate.
You did not.
You have no idea how happy he is. I have all this paper.
Not even a month after you had him, Carl, you were reported by the school for child abuse. Not even a month after you had him,
Yeah.
Carl.
Yeah,
You
I
told
also.
me you dragged him 5 feet across the carpet and you gave him carpet burn.
I have all this wonderful feedback from the teachers telling me how wonderful he is, how well he's doing at school. His life is turned around and good now. He is really doing well.
From what he tells me, Carl. You're not going to convince me because it's certainly not from what he tells me.
You are deluded,
He
Jay.
begs me not to have to go back.
All right, Jay. You are deluded. And I'm sorry. I feel sorry for you. I'm not mad at you anymore. I just feel sorry for you. I don't know what to do for
No,
you.
I think you are. I think you are very angry, Carl.
No, I do.
And I don't think you feel sorry for me at all. I don't need you to feel sorry for me.
I don't care if you need me or not. I feel sorry for you. I'm just telling you how I feel.
I really don't think you do, Carl.
Yeah, I do.
I think you're very scared. And I think you know it's going to come out sooner or later how abusive you are to our son. And I think you're very scared, Carl.
Okay. I'm sorry that you feel that.
So Alex was sent home at the age of 5 for biting a teacher in the abdomen. And I had never seen anything like it. I was pregnant with Kevin at the time. And Alex had been diagnosed with a developmental delay before that and a speech delay. And he would get aggressive and he would bite me, but I was not prepared for what I saw that day. And he bit the teacher in the abdomen. She was bleeding through her shirt. They sent him home that day. I was pregnant with Kevin. I took Alex home and I took him up to his room and made him stay in his room. And I immediately got on the phone and started calling child psychologists, and I made an appointment. I knew that there was something wrong and that I needed to start consulting with someone in the mental health field. So I started with a child psychologist. We made an appointment with a child psychologist, and it was quite obvious how abusive Carl was. Even while I was pregnant, he was verbally abusive to me, just as verbally abusive to me as you hear on these recorded conversations. And what I found out was that Alex should have been hospitalized the day that he injured the teacher. He did bite the same teacher again on the arm, and the bite was as severe as the first bite in her abdomen. And he was diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder. I did not know that a child could be diagnosed with a psychiatric disorder, and it was very traumatic for me at the time, being pregnant, and there was no support. I had no support. And taking him, the first time I had to take him to a psychiatric hospital, Kevin was an infant, and I was devastated. It broke me. I remember the drive to the psychiatric hospital. I would watch Alex bang his head on the floor. And it was a very powerless and a very helpless feeling. When his father got custody of him, he took him off of all of his meds. Carl has not been consistent with keeping Alex in counseling because he doesn't want it to get out. Carl is afraid to have the boys in consistent counseling because he is afraid he will be held accountable for child abuse. This is how he keeps from being held responsible legally for child abuse, because he doesn't want anyone to find out how abusive he is behind closed doors. This is why Carl lied in court, so that he could have custody of the boys, so that he could continue to get away with child abuse. Carl feels that he is entitled to special treatment. Carl feels that no one can touch him legally, and he can do whatever he wants, and there is nothing that anyone can do to him. He feels that he can convince anybody that he is right. And we had to get rid of our animals because Alex was acting aggressively towards the animals, and I was afraid that he was going to harm them. We had to And it wasn't just Alex. Carl also had a history of being abusive to animals. I would tell him he couldn't do that. And Carl was in denial that he had a problem. And that was partially why Carl was so angry with me, because whenever I would talk to Al at the therapist in the hospital, when Alex was admitted, I would be very honest about everything that was going on and about how abusive Carl was. I would not hide the abuse, and Carl was very angry about that. Not even a month after Carl had custody of Alex, he was reported by CPS, by the elementary school that Alex was attending. He was reported to CPS for physical abuse, for dragging Alex 5 feet across the carpet and giving him carpet burn, and refusing to seek medical treatment for the carpet burn that he gave Alex. He physically abused our son and injured him. And after he injured him, after physically abusing him, he refused to seek treatment for Alex. And he has never been held accountable for that. And even after that, he was still able to lie in court and win custody of both of our boys. He still gets away with child abuse today, and that is why I haven't seen our kids in 3 months, because the last time I had an opportunity to see the kids, Carl was physically abusive to Kevin, and I don't really know what else I can do at this point. I reported it to CPS, and of course nothing was done, because after all, Carl Edward Anthony has been given a free pass by Harris County to physically abuse our boys if he chooses to do so. I am very limited on what else I can do. I cannot afford an attorney. All of this has been financially devastating for me. Carl has done everything he can to destroy my life, short of hiring a hitman to kill me, which I'm sure if he thought he could get away with it, he would love to do. And when it comes to calling Carl out on his abusive behavior towards our kids, he can't. And his mother is the same way. She can't handle it. I would love to see Carl get help, but I know Carl would never be man enough to take responsibility for his issues. And he would never be man enough to take responsibility for the fact that he has physically abused our sons. Carl is a coward, and so is his mother. And there are multiple people in his family that are cowards, because they know that he continues to get away with abuse, and they choose to look the other way. This is why I have been alienated. It is very common for anybody who speaks out against a family for being abusive. They become alienated from that family. But I would rather be alienated than live in denial. I don't think I ever thought my life would turn out this way, but it has. I don't think the abuse will ever end. the abuse will never end. And as far as if my life will ever be good again, I just, you know, I can't really see that happening. I have lost complete hope of my life ever being good again. I've lost hope of being able to have a normal relationship with my boys without there being abuse involved from my ex-husband. And I've lost hope about my ex-husband being held accountable or anyone intervening and stopping him from physically abusing our boys. The abuse will never end, and unfortunately, I have failed my kids. I failed my kids because I haven't been able to stop the abuse. I failed my kids because I couldn't rescue Alex from the abuse. And I did everything I could. I don't know if my boys will ever forgive me. And honestly, I don't even feel worthy of their forgiveness. I don't even feel worthy of their love. I do love them. And I do miss them. And I know that Carl and his mother will have to live with themselves for the rest of their life, especially Carl. And if anybody knows about physical abuse and remembering traumatic memories from being abused as a child, Carl should also know that. And Carl has done to Alex what Roy Anthony did to Carl. Carl is no different than Roy Anthony. And the people responsible for teaching Carl how to be so abusive is Bobby Snow and Roy Anthony.